Hi guys, hope you had a happy spring break / Easter or whatever. Today I am going to start Unit 12, and I know it's going to be a little bit hard because I'm not in front of the board, but I'm going to do the best I can for you, okay? So in the book, you guys, if you go to 279, this one is finally getting off natural disasters like the hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, all that kind of stuff. So this one is called, if you look at it and it says, let's focus the Gorgon's head. And the content focus is what? If you look at it, what does it tell you? Well, it's going to be mythology, okay? So it's also going to be a literary text, which we have not had at all, okay? So when we look at this, we have not done any mythology at all. But when you look at this, you've got myths are going to be, you guys, when you talk about mythology, they're very ancient. They're super, super old. And don't say like me. Do not do that. Okay? So characters in these face a lot of challenges. And the stories usually involve like supernatural creatures where maybe things have 3 heads or 10 legs or something like that. Or maybe they have wings on their feet, okay? Or maybe they're half human, half horse, something like that, okay? Often the title of a fictional piece does not provide the same context clues as like we have had when we've done informational text, if that makes sense, okay? So in Unit 11, we read Twisters, and it was a little bit easier to predict what the content was going to be because we knew it was going to be about tornadoes because the title stated it. But like on this one, have you ever heard of Gorgon? Do you even know who or what that is, okay? And knowing that myths typically contain supernatural creatures, do you think that the Gorgon might be a supernatural creature? Maybe, okay? So it kind of makes me wonder what's so special about its head, all right? So on that very first line there, and I'm going to show you guys, okay? For this literary text, and I'll show you, our author's purpose this time is not going to be to inform at all, okay? This one is going to be to entertain, and to explain the unknown. Okay, I'm going to show you that so you can write that down in your book, okay? So to entertain or explain the unknown. You guys see that? It's kind of hard, but let me focus it a little bit better. Got it? To entertain or explain the unknown. Okay, I'll make sure I take a picture of that as well for you guys to get that, okay? All right. So that's the reason that somebody writes, is your author's purpose, as we know, okay? So on that's what we've got. Now, many ancient cultures, you guys, have created stories that answer questions about their world. So why do we have different seasons, okay? Or predictable changes in our weather each year, all right? Those answers, you guys, are based on knowledge of science, okay? Or weather. It has to do with the Earth's rotation. It has to do with the tilt of the axis. It has to do with our orbital path around the sun. But ancient people didn't understand these things. That came with science way later than what we know now. So what they would do is they would make up stories to explain these phenomena or these things for happening, okay? So because they didn't understand it, they might come up with a story of why do we have fall? Why do we have winter? Why do we have spring? Okay. So they also do that to represent their ideas about things like religion, history, the world, all those things. So the Gorgon's head is an ancient myth. All right. And Greek mythology is a series of elaborate stories about there's going to be gods, goddesses, and monsters, and what their interactions with humans are. So these stories are all about explaining the natural things that happen in our world. So references from Greek mythology can be found in like our pop culture now, literature, music, and also in great works of art, okay? So what kind of story are we going to read? It's called a myth. All right. So before we read Gorgon's Head, I'm gonna show you guys, and it will be attached to this, a short video to help build some background knowledge on this. Listen for a couple of things that you didn't know about it, and then on that same page that we had just worked on, I want you guys to answer right now, why did people create myths? And I kind of told you that. It's kind of more so to just create you know, like a story about something they didn't know how it was happening. Like I said, like the seasons. And then you're also going to answer the second one. How are myths relevant to modern times? Now remember, your answers can't be wrong. So just go ahead and write down what you think it is. All right. Now I want you to look at on the bottom there's reading for a purpose. And let's look at in the yellow box what it's telling us we're going to read for. So we're going to look for, why did Perseus accept the king's request to bring him Medusa's head? We're going to look at, why do Hermes and Athena help Perseus, and was it a good decision? Okay. What do we know about Perseus based on his dealings with the 3 gray women? Why does Perseus think Hermes has magical powers? He thinks he does, but he didn't know. What is the value of the gifts Perseus receives from the nymphs? Could he have succeeded without them? Maybe he could have done this and didn't have to have those gifts. How did Perseus face when he faced Medusa? Ooh, Medusa. And how else could this story have ended? Okay. All right. If you go onto the next page, there are some definitions here, okay, just like we always do. And I am going to go through those, and don't fret, because I'm going to send you a picture of of the definitions so you can copy them into your book, okay? But let's take a look at them. The first one there, you guys, that you are going to be looking at, and I want you to just rank them right now. Rank them first, and then we'll go back to them, okay? So remember, 0, you don't know anything about them at all. 1, you've heard of it. 2, maybe I can use it, but 3, you know it, you could use it in a sentence. So let's rank them first. And you guys, you're on page 280 to rank them, okay? So your first one is image, undertake, intelligent, proceed, recover, invisible, perceive, and enormous. And remember, be honest about it. That's the only way you learn those, okay? All right, going on. And here's the definitions. You can try to write them as I'm saying them, but if not, remember, I'm going to give you a picture of the definitions, okay? So the first one, you guys, image is the form or appearance of someone or something. So the image of a dog is on the bag of a dog food, all right? When you look into the water, you can sometimes see your image. And the mirrors in a funhouse can distort a person's image. So, you guys, can an image be someone's face? Yes or no? Of course it can. Okay, because really an image is just another word for a picture. So, yes, it can be. Can images be in your mind? Yes or no? Again, yeah. You can think of things, and how you picture them is the image you get of them, okay? What is your favorite image when you enter the school? Mine is when I see all my students. So that's the image I think of. Okay, second word is undertake. Undertake means to attempt or take on a task, okay? So you might be undertaking painting your house. That would be a task that you're doing, all right? So I might say I will undertake the project of monitoring our school's recycling program. Or before you undertake the job of class president, make sure you understand all the responsibilities. The work you are undertaking in this class may be difficult, but it is very important and rewarding. So, can you undertake a simple task? Of course. If it's a task, it's a task. It doesn't matter if it's simple or hard. If you undertake a job, are you attempting to do it? Well, yeah. Okay. Next word, intelligent. If you're intelligent, it means you're smart, okay? You reflect good judgment. It's not just book smart. It could be smart on good decisions, good common sense, okay? So I might say the intelligent young man made a wise decision regarding his education. Or although he was very excitable, the puppy was very intelligent and easily understood the trainer's commands. And if you study, you will be able to answer the teacher's questions intelligibly, okay? So are scientists intelligent? Yeah, they are, okay? People who are studying this pandemic or COVID-19 or coronavirus, they had to be smart to come up with ways to cure this. Okay, do most teachers think dropping out of school is an intelligent decision? The answer is no. Don't even think about it. Okay, next one, proceed, okay? Proceed means to carry on. You keep going, okay? So even though you're not in school, you're gonna proceed with your studies and your work, okay? The football player proceeded to stretch and warm up for the championship game. The group of dancers will proceed with practice even though the director is late. In spite of interruptions by students, I proceed with the daily lessons, okay? So, for example, if a baseball game proceeded after the rain delay, did they continue playing the game? Well, yes, because proceed means to continue on, all right? Would members of the track team proceed with practice if they had been cut from the team? Well, no, because you're not even on the team anymore, okay? So that means that you're going to continue, all right? Okay, next one. Okay, the next one is recover. So to get something back that's lost or regain it, okay? For example, police often recover stolen property when they catch a thief, all right? I am so thankful when I recovered my lost watch, or searching through the old house, they recovered many valuables from heirlooms, okay? So if you found something that was lost, did you recover it? Yes, that's what it means. You found it, okay? Can you recover something that was not lost or taken? No, all right? Okay, next one, invisible. And I think you guys all should have probably ranked that a 3 because we all know if it's invisible, you can't see it, right? Okay, so a cloudy night makes the stars invisible. I saw a movie in which a superhero can make himself invisible, or some bugs are invisible unless you use a high power microscope. So if something is invisible, can you see it? No, all right? Can you run into an invisible force field? Yeah, you can. All right, like my dogs have what we call an invisible fence, and if they go through it, they get shocked. Okay, they can't see it, but they still will feel it. Okay, perceive is to become aware of something through sight or observation. All right, so by noticing their stern tone of voice and harsh facial expressions, I can perceive when my parents are upset. All right, as the fog cleared, she was able to perceive the skyline. And after a close examination of the building, the engineer perceived the extent of the damage caused by the earthquake, okay? So is it easy to perceive the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? No, I think they both look the same, but okay. If you perceive the outline of a building, does that mean you can see it? Yes, all right? That one's a little tricky sometimes. All right, this one, enormous, and I think you all know what that means, all right? Very big, a large amount, okay? So the enormous fire covered hundreds of square miles and caused vast destruction. The elephant is enormous compared with an ant, and a tsunami is an enormous wave that can cause tremendous damage. So would a bug the size of a rabbit be called enormous? No, okay? Would a cracker be considered an enormous feast? No. All right, so those are your words, and remember, you guys, I will go through and give you those definitions for you to write down, okay? So yeah, the only other thing that I'm going to do for you today is I will attach to this. And since we're not in my room, I'll have to record it again from there because it won't let me copy or paste. But I want you to watch the video on the Gorgon's head as well, so that you can kind of get a preview of what we're doing. So for today, you want to make sure that you write the definitions that I take a picture of for you, and that you also complete the 2 questions on page 279. So I'll put that in the directions though. So I hope you guys had a great break. Let's hang in there. You can do it. All right. Make sure you're keeping up on your work and make sure you're marking your attendance. All right. Okay. Miss you guys.